Now, if you remember that, the function called yesterday also, I was telling you that I can do this using some function. The problem where we got stuck, but because we had not covered the SUMX, I just couldn't do it. Okay, so ideally I should have done the SUMX first with you, but never mind. Let me just recap the entire thing where we have this the problem. So see, first of all, if you see, where was the question? The question was that get the total item shift from the top three items rows. I have done some changes here. So when you consider this file, you'll find here a bit of changes in the questions to make it more clear. Yeah, so this was the problem actually. Let me just recap. Okay, what exactly is happening? See, we wanted to actually we wanted to go in the toy shop data, and we wanted to find out that what are the top three performers, top three countries, and anything, let's say top three countries, and what is the total, overall total of those three countries in terms of, let's say, item shift, right? So here we created this. If you see here, this was the number, and we could not actually calculate this using the calculate function, right? We were able to create the table. If you see this table here, I think top, let's go and see. Let me select the table. This was the table, I guess. Yes. See, this was the table, and we wanted to actually add them. This was the task, right? So one method was that when we created this TOPN function, we had the data. So we said refer to this data and just go and add the things, because this table is a proper table. It exists in our system, right? But then I said that why can't we go and create this table on the fly and then sum? It's the same thing like today I said calculated column, avoid it, right? When I can do this using the SUMX, why to create extra column? Isn't it? So the problem was that if the table does not exist, the function calculate was not able to use the field that we need to sum. That was a challenge. If I say calculate, you go in this table, and pick this total shift item as sum. It's very easy for me to do that. Remember, if I create here a new measure, for example, and I say that calculate, you go here and you just sum, and you need to go in the table called TOPN, and this is the Q2. This is the table, right? You can see the icon also. So here, what we were actually saying, so let me just do one thing, start with the Q2 actually, Q2. So here, what I have to sum? I have to sum this field, right? So calculate will do that. There's no challenge in that. Calculate will do that, and then I think I don't even need to give any criteria, because the table is already filtered. It has got only the 3 rows, so you don't need to do anything, and the life is so easy, right? But the problem was coming that if I have to consider the fact that I don't want this table to be here, but it should be created on the fly, then where the expression will go? Because expression needs the table. Table you're creating here, not before that, right? So that was the problem. So we were like saying that, okay, so can we just not use here the same table like TOPN? Let's provide this table, and then I mean, I can just go there, and now I say that I want the field of this. Field is not going to come. This was the challenge. If the field is not going to come from this table, which is this, calculate can't do it. So that is something we were trying, right? Now, so in this case now, how are we going to sort out this? Well, let's do one thing now. Let's come here in the SUMX, and we'll copy this here. We just paste this here using the toy shop table, assuming we have not created any table. Get the total items shipped from top 3 countries, isn't it? This was the one. where we got stuck, and you have understood the problem, right? That what is a basically challenge. We can't even think of the sum function here. So now let's try to use the SUMX for this. Okay, so let's see that. Create the measure. Let me start from the scratch. Question number 4. Yes. Okay. Now you see you have a SUMX here. Now in this case, the beauty is this, that the table comes first. So if the table is there, expression will automatically be connected with the table, right? Because if I'm creating some table virtually here on the fly, and after I goes for its expression, which was field, SUMX should be able to capture that. Because in calculate, it happens reverse. First, you give the refer to the column that you want to add. But what will you do in the case when the table has not been created? It does not exist. And then you say, actually, I will create it on the fly. That's not going to happen. But here, I'm going to create that table, right? So how are we going to do that? We have already learned yesterday that, first of all, aggregation has to happen on the overall level for each of the country, which is grouping basically, isn't it? When the grouping happens, you will have all the countries with their total item share. Country A, 100, country B, 200, country C, 300, like this. Like the pivot thing happens. So first of all, I will go and create the summarize here. And summarize also is a tabular function. So I'm just going to write summarize. Isn't it? Right? I'm just going to write a summarize. First, let me summarize the data. So the data is toy data. And we want to group this country-wise, right? And then the name of the field, which is item share. So the name I'm going to give this as this time header. Item share. Okay, a unique header this time. Expression obviously will be what you want to do. So I'm just going to say that items shipped. This one, right? And what else? Nothing. This table is summarized. You can see we created here also. This will give you exactly this data. Yes, I have already got this data. This is what we will get. But you can't run this right now because this has 2 fields, and this is not going to return a single value, scalar value. So I can't use this here, right? But I can use this data in some other DAX, which is capable of returning me a scalar value. And that is exactly what we need, right? Now this gives you the entire table with the aggregation applied, grouping happened, pivoting happened. But now I'm not interested in the countries where, I don't have that. Basically, I'm looking for the top 3 performers, right? So then what we did yesterday also, if you remember, we then passed on this table to the another tabular function, which is TOPN. Then we said, TOPN, you come and you work on this table and you give me the data, the top values. Ascending, descending will decide whether it is bottom or top, though the name is on this TOPN. So I say I need the 3 top rows from this data. Basically, I'm saying top 3 rows only, right? But because the data has countries, so you can say top 3 countries. Okay. And finally, so what is the next parameter? The next parameter is table in the TOPN. Table is already there, fine. We have done our job. So we go in the last one. I press this comma. And now see, there's some problem here. It shows me the summarize. Actually, I have to close this, I guess. Yes. Now the function is closed. Because summarize is done, I'm now back on the TOPN. So I use my Excel skills here only. Okay, I never get lost in these parameters. And if I do, I know how to come back, how to resolve the issue. So order by expression will be what now? You remember what will be the order by expression? Who will tell me? In this formula now, what will be the order by expression? Tell me. What is the order by expression in the TOPN formula? Order by. What do you mean by order by?
The sales. Yes, item table.
Yes, item. The field that you want to actually consider here for sorting In the next parameter, you will tell the sorting is ascending or descending. That we will mention later, right? But now I'm again asking you, you said item shift fine, but according to your data, because item shift is not a column pair, item shift belongs to toy data. We are not working here with the toy data. After this, hmm,
HDR items.
very nice. Guys, are you understanding these concepts, right? See, toy data is used, but once the data is returned by the summarize, we will have another table. And in that table, there will be only two fields. One is the country and one is header item shift. And underneath that header, we will have the base totals, right? So now when you're trying to provide this TOPN that on which field you want the expression to be applied, if you start doing the same mistake, which is item shift, then you will wonder that why that field is not coming. The toy data is not coming. Toy data will not come. This is your table now. And in this table, our field is header item shift. Make sense? You have to see all these things, right? And once this is done, so we will put here the descending order in this. Descending order. Okay. And you know that by chance, if there is a conflict between totals, we will see that value as well. It doesn't happen generally, but let's say New Zealand also has a sale 6011, right? Then this is the first value, this is the third value, but in the first value, second value, but in the third value, if you have a conflict, if you have a tie-up, TOPN will give you those values. As well. Well, we can, go and work on that part as well. But right now, let's just close this. And now you see my entire table is done, right? So this is where I think the SUMX can do this job because I'm able to give the SUMX a table that I want. But sir, this table cannot be created in Calculate. In Calculate also, we can create the table, the same table. And we have done that. We use the filters also. And the table was there. Yes, we can. But the problem was that Calculate first asked me the field name that I want to add. But when the data is not there, when the table is not there, how can I refer to the field? How can I tell the Calculate that you have to sum this header underscore item shift? Because Calculate has no way to come to know that this is the field I'm using. But here it's happening the opposite. Here, first I'm creating the table. And once I've created the table, in this table now, let's press comma, and you see the expression is highlighted. Now, in the expression, I can say that finally, because this is a sum function, at the end of the day, this is sum. So I'll just say, okay, so why don't you just go and pick this field? On this field, I want actually the addition. Because table is created, so it is able to refer to that. And that is what we need. And that's why yesterday I said, let's wait for today's session. So this is done. Let me just press. Overall, if you see, it's all about how can you customize your table? How can you customize your table? And to which extent you can customize your table? If you know that, the rest of the things are very easy. You just need to do count, average. It's all what matters is here is that, that the table should be supplied in the right way. Okay? Let's first of all see that. You see, I got here answer 14K, right? So 14,000, almost. And now we can cross check this. So, so you see here, this is, these are the ones, right? Let me sort this actually. Yeah. So 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 3, 13. And of course, these numbers. So I think we are right? Still we can create a filter quickly, slice that, and just put the country here. So the top 3 countries are, from where I'm using this. Not this one. This will always show the top, of course, I know that, but we have to use this to get it. Here we have every time the different data. So you see, India and France and Sweden. So India, France, and Sweden. Let's do this. I know that the answer is correct. Okay, India. Yeah, so this is the number. So, and this is what we have got. Correct? So this means this is working. So we are able to solve this problem now. Okay. I again want to tell you one thing. Please understand what we have achieved here is remarkable because generally what happens, people know the top end for calculating the top, for evaluating the top or the bottom rows from the entire data. And this we have done yesterday also. See, if I simply say that these are the top 3 seats, right? I want to see the total of these 3 rows only, irrespective of the country. Then you can just simply go and say calculate some of the sales, and in the filter, the expression, the next parameter where you put the criteria, you can just use the top end. That is okay because you are working with the existing data, the data which exists. This is not something we're creating on the fly. But then this is a different thing. Now what we are talking about a different thing, that from this table, I want to derive another table on the fly, and on that table I want to use. Because this is when you actually are picking the top 3 rows. There's no aggregation happening here. Top 3 rows can be anything. But now, what we have done just now, where we had the calculate challenge using the top end, that I want each of the country, but on the overall sales aggregation, a total sale throughout the years, right? So for that we have to have another table. So the option was I can create that table. That is also, again, we have created the table and you can use this, no problem. But you say that no, I don't want to do this. I'll create this on the fly. Because in this way, tomorrow you may have some other requirements also, bottom 3, bottom 5, bottom 10. So how many times, you keep on creating these, isn't it? So you say, I'll create everything on the fly. So for that, this is basically how we have sorted out this. So now it means you're capable of pulling out the top or the bottom items from the existing tables, as well as the tables which does not exist but can be created on the fly from the existing tables. So thanks to the SUMX. So SUMX plays simpler communicating do these type of tasks. Okay, so I hope now you have the answer to each and every query. And same way, when you said that you need the top 3, like what if I have to see the top the countries? Well, I think then when you create that the function like this table, like this is the one we have created. We can create you can just go and create the graph of this table, and we can have the countries over there, isn't it? We can show the countries as well. Like for example, if I create here a visual, okay? If I create here a visual and I supply this, this one, I can just put the countries here, and I can just put the item shape here, this way. This way we can have it. And of course, then you can remove everything, all this, because if I'm just interested in, let me create first of all this one. Yeah. Like this, you can have this in this way. Remove the title, remove all this, just keep it like this. And these are the top 3 countries. In fact, what I was thinking is that, because right now I think this makes more sense that I have here the hierarchy proper. Which country is doing the top, the highest, then the second highest, and the third highest. So these bars are telling you the story, which is nice. But otherwise, you can you remember that we can set up the range as well, like this. So in this x-axis, we can set that, if I have to show the 3 bars with the country, so I can just go and say, you start with 0 and you have, let's say here, 100, for example. You remember? Because, your sale is going to be higher than this, so all will look equal. Just in case if you just want to show the countries, you can do this way as well, isn't it? Right? So this is, again, one of the way. And of course, when the title goes off from here, so let's say title, because you don't need the title, isn't it? And then the title is also gone. Or you can customize, you can just write top. You can mention that in the title. Very small thing, which is top 3. We don't need anything else, right? And I can top 3, this one, like this. And we don't need this x-axis here. I don't need the value here. I don't need the title. Perfect. That's all. and I can just put this somewhere. I don't know where. You can put this here. Okay, like this. So I'm using this basically the bar. I mean, you can use the other one as well. The bar, it looks nice to me. So yes, one more thing we can do, we can have like this y-axis, we can keep this font at 8 just to have more size. And here I can use something like maybe this one. Yeah. I mean, I will have more space, I guess. I can keep this now. This is how I can keep. Yeah. All right. This much space, I think it's definitely going to take like this. Okay. Anyways, somebody can cover all this. There's no challenge in that. So we can have these top three countries as well. Same way you can have a bottom three as well. And in the bottom, we just give the here you just go and say that, the color actually has to be the green color. I mean, just see which color do you want. And sorry, this is not in the value, but in the column section. Go in the column. You can do that, right? In the column section, go and wherever that option is. And for the bottom ones, you can change the color to the right this way. Okay, so this is again one of the things you can do. And yeah, fine. So like this. Okay, and also if you see, like if I copy this and if I paste this here, and if I change this to, let's say, this slicer, why not the slicer actually, isn't it? Because slicer will also have those, the data only for the 3 rows, isn't it? I think slicer can also do this job. But in the slicer, then I will go with the, one of my favorite, which I told you. So here we have the drop down actually. Okay, so here, what we have to do, let's remove first of all, because slicer, if you will put the 2 fields, you have the next level here. And this is something I don't need. If I'm creating a slicer, then I need the countries only. Well, why not the slicer? Yes. So my point was that I should see here that tile option, isn't it? So you can have the tile option also like this. You see? This one. And of course, you know that, I mean, the column wise also we can, so you can put in this way. Remove the title, keep the top 3, that's okay. Rest, see that if you want, if you still can minimize this, reduce the size and all that. I mean, this way, you can just go and put it somewhere, wherever in your dashboard you can put. So you will see only the top 3 and the countries. And if the data changes, obviously, this will also change. So there are different ways of doing it. So that's how we can go and create this. Okay, but one thing you need to understand here, that if I have to show the countries like this, please note this point. You have to create something like this. It cannot be calculated on the fly, isn't it? Because I need a table property, table, because these fields are going to come from the table. So I have to have this table created here. Otherwise, how will I do it? Or maybe let me give it a try. Let's say I don't need this, because right now I'm using this table, which existed here. Let's say I create here again the same issue. Let's say this one. This one, yeah. This one, bar chart. Please try them in some other visual as well. I mean, in case because right now, if I use the stack will give me the only one column only, I think, isn't it? So can we do that? Because I just need the country. So if I change this to this what do you call the stack bar chart. So not the stack actually. I mean stack, but let's use this one, stack column. So I will have only one row, one column actually, stack. So let's see that. So now what we can do, we have created here a DAX called SUMX just right now. And let me go here. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm just trying to experiment here that what if I use this on the fly over here. Okay, because this does not have the fields. That is the point. Does not have the fields, because generally field you go and drag and drop. So I'm just going to put this thing here. Okay, so now basically it's giving the total, which is 14K, and that is what I don't need it, because I need the countries, isn't it? So that is the challenge. Okay, so anyways, yeah. So what I was telling you, I'll just put the country here. See that item shape, and no, it's not going to work. Yes, because I need one legend here that then it's going to stack up the things. But these can't be done. Okay, my mistake. Yeah, so that's okay. So I'll go with this, either this or this. Okay, so we are able to have to think about these points. All right. I hope we are okay now to go to the next question. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay. Yeah. So let's just go here. Yeah. Yes. So now RANKX is another DAX which we use for the ranking. Like for example, if I create a table here, and I want to find out, like suppose country wise item share, you need to create a ranking here. How will you do that? Ranking means obviously who is on the top, who is in the first, and then second and the third, all that stuff. How will you do it? So we have actually a rank function. Okay, so let's see that how we can actually calculate the ranking. Now rank function has a lot of rules that you need to remember. Okay, so just remember the rules. Don't think much about it, like why and how, just remember the rules. So let me first tell you, let's first of all go and write that function here. Okay. So I go here and say rank is for the ranking basically. Now rank is a function which troubled me a lot initially when I was studying. So RANKX. Now see, the moment you write the rank X, it tells the rank of an expression evaluated in the current context in the list of the value. So leave all this. You have a table, you have an expression, and then you have a value, and you have an order, and you have a ties. In case of tie, if you have same numbers, what do you want to do? Unfortunately, this thing is not available in the TOPN as on date. That what if you if you pull out the 3 rows and let's say the third row, the third value has appeared 5 times in your data, so TOPN actually will return you the top 2 with 5 more values, isn't it? So there is a solution for that. We can create those unique numbers also that we'll see later. But here the RANKX actually has that. I mean, it can work on the ties. If the tie is there, what do you want? Okay. Anyways, so first of all, I want to create here the toy data. This is my toy data. Okay. I'll create here the toy data, and then you have the expression. Okay. You have the expression here. So in expression, I will go and say that. So basically, what I want is that I want to sum and the items shipped. This one. And then in the value, don't put anything. Just keep this, ignore this. Okay, don't put anything. Then you have the order. So we want in the descending order, means a country where you have the maximum item shipped, that should be on the top, right? So for this, you can use descending. And here we have the ties. What happens in case of tie? Okay, I'm going to use the dense and I'll explain the meaning of it. I've written it also because sometimes if you don't use this function, you tend to forget the dense bit. Okay, basically, I'll tell you right now. So if you don't write the skip, if you don't write anything in a close up function, by default, it is on the skip. Otherwise, you have to, if you want the dense, you have to write the dense. So what happens if, let's say there are, in this France and the Germany, let's say these are the top ones. This also have 4195. This also have 4195. Okay. So how the rank will do the ranking? This is going to be 1. This is also going to be 1, right? But the next country will not have 2. It's going to be 3. That is how RANKX does the job. Okay. If you use a dense, then you will not have that thing. So it's automatically going to give the rating as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's no tie for that, right? If you pass dense in the tie parameter, it will not allow for gaps. Gaps won't be there. Like in this case, I said 1, 1, and then not 2, but 3. Because 2 countries have tied up. So the second position will not be there. If you don't write dense, then. But if you write the dense, then you will see the rating. ranking in a sequence. Okay, so that's why I prefer this. I want to, let's say, use the dance. You see right now, okay? So just go and press enter. Okay, now see this now. So far, I think uh, everything is simple. Let me just first of all enter this because there is a flaw in this, and that I want to show you. What is the flaw and the rule that you always need to remember. Okay, so first of all, let me just see if I have copied everything. Uh, there's nothing here. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to drag and drop this here. Okay, let's go and drag and drop this here. Look at this. What happened here, guys? This is always the problem with the RANKX. It's an iterator. So what generally happens is, understand, it's very easy actually. You see, the thing is that, this is the filter context. The moment I drop this here, how many countries you have to compare? You have only one country, France. So when you have a one country only, and you want to compare the ranking, what will be the answer? Answer will be 1. So you'll not be able to see the result. Right? Because every time it goes here, it checks, oh, there's a France, ranking is 1. There's only one country, the ranking will be 1. And then it goes here. So what we are supposed to do here in this case is, we will have to tell the RANKX that, you know what, when you're going to apply the rank, you have to work on the entire country, all the countries, all the entire data. Then give me the ranking. So it means the filter context that you're using here, that should be ignored. You remember on. You will always use this on, right? So this is my data. We have used this before also on. See this, right? On table name or column. And I told you, somebody asked me, sir, can we not use the columns? I said, no, just use the table name, which was, it's completely going to ignore all the filters coming from anywhere, right? Now see this. I'm doing the same thing here. On, and I'm just going to close this. Okay, let's press enter. Okay, working on it. I don't see any answer here. It is still incorrect, right? Now see what I'm going to do. This is my country. This is my country. Now, in the all, as you know, I told you that I'll discuss about this thing also. So let me just start typing all again. Table name or column name. I can give the column name as well. I'm not going against the fundamentals. So what I will do, I will say country from my data called toy data. Okay, and I close this. Correct? Now let me press enter. Okay. And once again, yes. Let's use this as the field basically on which I have to go and work. So this is I haven't created any tags for this. I think this is the one. Total item shape. Unexpected value. 1 second, please. Item total item shape tags. So what is it? Let me check. It's the toy data item shape. And does it have any error? Parameter is not the correct type. Okay, because I got to put the tags there. So what is it? 1 second. We have created this tags before. Item shape, yeah. Enter. And this is working. Yes, this is working. Let's come back here. Now you will not see this because you won't see anything because of this error Q1. So Q1 RANKX is 1. I just put the RANKX. Yes. So now let me close this actually. Once again, let's go back. So first I put the filters there. Now I am going to use the expression which is items. Yeah, this is the one. And in the value I don't need anything. And then I need, actually I think there was one comma which I missed. descending, and this is dense, for example. Let's just press enter. Yeah, perfect. All right. So that was the problem. I think one comma was missing, because of which the problem came. For the value section, you always have to keep it like just keep it null. I mean, ignore that. Okay, just put the comma and that's it. Bypass it. So there was some problem in this DAX. So see, immediately I went there and I checked that, So these are the things you also need to always be, vigilant about these things. Because if this DAX will not have a proper result, then the DAX which is using that incorrect DAX, will also show you the errors, isn't it? So now see, we have the answer here, and this is really fabulous. We have the ranking. So I'm just going to sort this, let's say, then we should see the proper result. So now you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Right? So in any case, as I was telling you, that if you will not write tens, you will use skip. Again, I'm repeating. So what will happen, just in case, if you have 6011 here also, this is going to be both ranked as 1, 1. But because you have already given the one ranking to two countries, the next the country, whichever it is, it will not have the 2 as ranking. It will have 3. It's going to skip that. Okay. So we don't need that basically. So that's why I've kept this as dense. Okay. So it means that here we will always see the flow like this. In a sequence we will go. Even there is a tie-up. There will be no gaps basically. There will be no gaps. Okay. I hope this is clear. So what you have learned in the rank is rank actually, if you see here, note RANKX rule. RANKX uses the all DAX. Every time uses the all DAX to make sure the calculation should not happen on filter pen test. Because in that way, rank function will have only one category I should write. In this case, it's country. So do the comparison. So we will always get 1 as our answer. In all DAX 2, remember to use the column name, that category being used in that visual. Okay. For example, here I simply cannot say on and toy data. You'll get the wrong answer. You have to provide the country here. Now it will be interesting to see if there is my yeah. See, that is the only thing. Okay. And this particular thing which you have written in the expression, I can just go and try using the item shape as well. I mean, let's say, for example, I'll simply create new DAX for this, for example. Okay, let me see that. If it is going to work, see that. It's not working. Toy data item shape, right? It should work because this is also a DAX. Okay, so it means that here, always use the DAX, the one which is already created. This parameter is the expression one. See this expression. Please remember this. Okay, please remember this. First create the DAX and then that DAX should go there. If you try to create a new DAX in the parameter, it's not going to work. Generally it works. Also, in expression, use the DAX which is already created by you for whatever calculation. Very delicate point, isn't it? Very delicate point. Otherwise, you will not understand this function so easily. I mean, it's going to take a lot of time. Yeah. So I was now telling you guys that, see, I'm just going to put this table here, copy and paste here. Now, what will happen, everyone? If I put any other field here next to the country, what is going to happen there? What is going to happen? If I put any other field here, let's say, if I put the age group here, for example, what is going to happen? Let's go and give it a try. Okay. The moment I put the age group here, see, age group here, India, 2 to 3, 6 to 1, 1 to 2. What ranking you're getting? 1, 1, 1. Sales are different, obviously, based on the age group. And then the moment you have the new country, this starts with 2. And then you have the new country, this starts with 3. This is not the right picture, isn't it? I mean, if you're putting some field here, obviously you will like to see the ranking based on that combination. But now, in this India, all the age groups, they have the different sales. Obviously, they will have. But then why the ranking is 1, 1, 1? Not good, isn't it? It's going in some other way. I mean, it started giving the ranking like based on any time the country changes. So here we have France, then we have Sweden, right? And then Sweden, you see, Sweden, we have Sweden, and here we have 3, 2. Again, it's again different thing. Why it is doing that? So what I will do now, I will go in my this tags, because let's say I'm using 2 fields here, for example, if I use my 2 fields here, I want the ranking based on that. As simple as that. Or maybe 3 fields. I don't know. I'm looking for the combinations now. For this country to this, or this. At least I should be able to know that in one country, India, the age groups, how they are ranked. And then in the France, according to their age group, how they are actually ranked. Basically, this is what I'm trying to figure it out. So let's go in the same DAX here. So what I will do now here is that I said that ignore the filters from the country. Okay, ignore the filters from the country and then go and calculate on the entire data. So as you know, in the all, if you remember, if you're practicing, we can provide other columns as well, right? So here I will write now toy data and age group, another field because I'm using the 2 fields here. Okay, and I'm just going to press enter and look at this now. What is happening? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, this way. Now, this is the proper ranking that I'm getting actually. So, if you see here, I've already sorted the data. That's why you see here 1, 2, 3. In your case, if it won't come, just get confused, just sort the data. Because one can be somewhere here. I've sorted the data. So now you see, this is the highest sale, obviously. So this has to be 1. But this sale is highest coming from where? Only from India? No. From India and 2 to 3 years age. Or maybe the third category also you put, the number will change. But again, there will be a number which will be the highest one in that data. And that is where we want that ranking should come as 1. So then this is the sale, then this is the sale. So if you see here, this is how I want to see my data, for example. If you have, multiple categories. So you have to provide that field to the all, that ignore this context as well. You see here, it is changed now. Okay, be careful. Because here, you're not using the age group. And I'm using the same DAX here as well and here as well. So ideally, I should change the DAX if I have 2 different tables. Right? So maybe I can do one thing. I copy this, go in the new measure. Because I want to create for this as well. And I say Control V and I say DAX. This is my Q1, for example. And this I will delete. And now this I will put it here. And I'll remove the another one. I got the ranking. And this I will just forget to put the tax. And this is 2. Actually, yeah. Let's click here. Okay. So now you will never actually go and have the problem in the rank, because the 2 important rules I've told you. You must use the or so that it should not go and start calculating the ranking, evaluating the ranking based on the filter context. Because in the filter context, there will be always one category, and that's why you see 111. Okay. And here also in the expression that you want to basically on which you want to calculate something, that should also be uh, uh, based on the tax which is already created. Okay, I'll just remove that the thing from there. You can see the ranking will still exist. Just wanted to make sure you know this. Okay, let me undo this item. I mean, there's no need for item shift because we are not, RANKX is not working on this item shift. RANKX has its own DAX. So don't, understand this in a wrong manner that because I put the field, so that's why it is able to give you you can remove this as a remote it. Okay. It has its own DAX and the calculation will happen accordingly. Okay. This is how it is. Now I'm going to tell you something again very interesting. Okay. You also need to, go and now start working on your, what I call AutoGate system now. Please go and see the Microsoft documentation, find out the different DAX over there, right? Just see that, practice on that. See, there are a lot of DAX over there. Okay. Or if you want to wait for the right time, like if you're already working on the data in your office, then yes, that's a different thing again. Requirement also sometimes, makes us learn a lot. Now, the last thing which I want to actually do in this rank is remember the rules first of all. And now second thing is, you see, there's a one very important concept which you, I think, have not ever even, thought of, because I was also like stunned by this when I was learning. I was creating the DAX functions for a long time. And then one day what happened, all of a sudden, somehow, I don't know, something, some calculation I was doing. And while doing that calculation, this question came up in my mind. And then I got stuck. Oh, what is happening? And that is the same thing. There is a flaw here. If you see, there's a big, actually, something unusual here. If you see this data properly, which should actually catch your attention immediately. I don't know if it has caught your this attention, but if you look at this data carefully, you will find that there's a word or one in the total. Do you not think that what is the reason why we're getting the one? From where? Generally, we always use the sum, average, everything, and like this item shift is coming. So we always know this is the total of this, isn't it? This is the total of this, right? But in this case, are you expecting here the total? If you're expecting here the total, then you don't understand then the concept. You have not understood. You have not even then understood, I should say, the pivots. See, in the total, always aggregation happens. All of us agree on that, right? And we always take it for granted, right? What if I tell you here also the aggregation is happening? Because you have applied the rank function, right? So when the rank function is applied, when you have these countries, rank, you said ignore all the filters, country filters basically. Rank calculated the total item shift, and based on that, rank has provided the ranking. But in the case the total, there's no country. There's no country. There's no country. It's just a one field, which is total. And that is the reason it is still not able to calculate it. However, in case of item shift, the query is working. See, one thing, remember, when we say filter context, if you go back in all the previous lectures, see, this total always is calculated separately. This total is not like this. It's going to add these. No. A lot of us thinks like this way. That total is coming, so it's adding this. No, it's not adding this. It's actually creating a separate query for the total, which obviously means one and the same thing. But you should not like, have the wrong impression in your mind, the wrong understanding that it's going to add these. No, it's not going to add this. It's basically what this total is done. It's basically saying select all from the data, right? And it's going to calculate the item shift. Here, it's going to simply say select India, like select do the calculation on the item shift, find out the total, where the country is India. Here it says where the country is on star. That's the reason you get this number. Otherwise, this number is not coming from this. So when you have the total of the average, it always comes the same. But in this case, this is a different calculation. This is a ranking. What it is going to calculate for you in the ranking? You tell me. 9? Of course not. That does not make any sense. So in this case, actually, we don't even need the ranking for the total. It's giving the false information. It is a misleading advertisement, right, for our data story. So how to off this? This is basically what I'm saying. How to off this? Can we off this? Yes, we can off this. You see, we have one function which is, see, um, wait a second. Um, yeah, Q1, this one. What I'm going to do, uh, let me create here question before first of all. How to avoid total labor? How to avoid grand ranking because it's misleading, isn't it? Some of your audience, they know, "Oh, I know that this is wrong, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's in the total, that's fine. Yeah. So, but we can still correct this. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. I don't want to do this in the same function actually. Okay. So we will just say one thing. This is how you need to understand this as it is. You can use this in other grand totals as well, no doubt. You see, what we will do, we will say that there's a function called, I'm going to use the if. If is also something we would do. It's a very small topic. I mean, you all know it, isn't it? If has one value, has one value. But what? We are comparing this has one value with what? In this case, country, right? So I'm simply saying that if has one value returns me true. So it goes USA, New Zealand, Germany, Russia, these are all one countries, right? So it's going to be always true. So if it is true, then you want to find out the rank. But in the total, in the grand total, you don't have one country, right? It's entire data. Okay. Specifically for the total, you can use this has one value. So we'll write here, not applicable, or maybe space. Like, write like this. Like. Or if you want to write anything, it's all on you. Okay. Let me press enter. This is interesting, right? And for this, you don't need the trainer. If I wouldn't have told you, for example, one day, if you are really doing the hard work, you will come across such things. So I'm just trying to put the keyboard here. Wow, this is super. Yeah. So see, this is how it is done. This is how it is done. Has one value. Because in total, there's always multiple values now. Because all the countries, they get calculated here. As I said, that star all in the query. So this basically can help you in these things as well. You can apply here as well. I mean, in case if you want, there's no problem. Okay, now I want to show you something else. See here now. This was the TOPN function, right? I have a question now. Let me keep this here. Okay. I'm coming back to the previous page. Now, what we need is, see, in my visual here, let me create here the visual table. Okay, table. You have the country or whatever field, and you have, let's say, total item share. Okay, you see? Perfect. Now, I have a question, which is what? That I want to see each of the country contribution when it is compared with the top 3 countries total. I don't want to see this total 26414 in the denominator. That you can do, I know. You can use the calculator on. You can remove the filter and 26415. We can use that function in the divider. Remember or not? Yes? But here, denominator is different. I want to see each of the countries' contribution, obviously in terms of item share, on the top 3 countries' total item share. So it means you have to find out the total first. Total for the 3 items. What is the total? Like this plus this, and that should be divided, right? It's not on the overall, but it's on the basically only the top 3 performers, right? You have already calculated that, if you remember, right? We have calculated that. Where? Here. Here. I think this was the one. Yes, this was the one. Correct or not? Tell me. If I go and put this formula here, what will happen? What will happen? If you go put the formula here, first of all, what is the total? 14K. And this is correct. We know that. If I sort the data here. 6 plus 4 and then this 39, 14, right? But I don't want to, let me keep this here, just for a reference. Yes. So how will you do this? Can I drag and drop this here? What do you think? If I drop this function over here, what will happen? See this? What happened? Where the 14K went? This is now going to be considering the country also in the filter context. So that 14K will not be, you won't see that 14K here. However, in the total you will see. Are you getting my point? 2 things you have to notice. First, if I go and drag and drop this thing here, rule will be applied. This will be based on the country, India, France, and all that. Filter context we already know. So if I don't have to use this in the card, but somewhere here with the other categories are also there, we have to go and make sure filter context should not be applied. Isn't it? Right? So what I can do? Can we go here and somewhere write on?
We can use all, sir.
Yeah. So if I go and let's say, if I just simply copy this. If I copy this and let's say I create a new measure here. I will write this question in the here only. Yes, as we are moving, so this is question number 5. Okay. Now, first of all, let me just press enter. And instead of the question number, so I'll put this here. Now we don't need the question number 4. We have the view file. Okay. So where we're going to put the now on? Well, now we got to see, because here we have one summarize and where we have the top end. So where I'm going to put, right? Once I have the top 3 data, once I've got the top 3, the rows, basically my point is that should be there always. So if I put here, I don't know, but I'm just checking with you. Okay. This question came up in my mind. So I'm going to say that this is the table, the entire table, which is up till this point. Because after that, there's another header, right? Now here, if I use in this way, it's not going to consider this, because again, this maybe it has a problem of, that the table is being created on the fly. Okay, let's see that. But still, I like to click here and let's see what's going to happen. Okay, on function expects a table reference. Yes. So we are giving the table, but this table actually is not a part of it. If I would go and give the table that we have created here, the things will work, I'm sure. Yeah. So now what we will do, because I can't use the all here, that is what it says, right? Because it says that there is only one argument. Though it is a one argument, it is, the entire thing returns only one thing. But this is not working. So what we will do, first of all, let me press enter. Okay. Now, when I'm summarizing the data, if I go and provide, here, because if you remember, this is the table. Now, in this table, can I not provide all? Let's see that. Let's just close this. Okay. Now, fundamentally, it is fine. I can. Let's see that. Let me press enter. This is super. This is super, right? You see, I applied the all here. I got the error. I read the error that it says you can only provide the table, right? Now, I was actually providing the table only, but the table was not anywhere, I mean, here. It was not created. It is all everything happening on the fly, isn't it? So I got the answer. I understood. Then I thought, let me maybe go and check this somewhere else, wherever I'm selecting the table. So I went into the summarize there, because here also, if I'm going to, create the table can be, uh, which can be um, created in a manner that it has no filter context, influence on it. Why not? So I put the all here, and in this all, if you see, this is a data. Toy data exists. It's not on the fly. So what happened then? Summarize created the function for me, the table for me, right? If I use this summarize in this new table, if I go here, you'll get the same table, because then all has no problems. All has no problem. I mean, all will not work. All will be neutral there, because we're just taking the data. There's no filter context there. But the moment I put that in some visual, immediately filter context will be fired as a rule. And when it is going to be fired, immediately we will say, you just don't even touch this particular header. Stay away. Once I've got this divided by item shift can tell you that basically every country is contributing how much on the top 3 countries, isn't it? That is again so basically we are trying to say that I hope there's no situation where all the revenue is coming only from the top 3 countries. What is their weightage basically? That is what we are trying to say, isn't it? If all the countries will start giving me 1%, 2%, 5%, it means every revenue is coming from the top 3 countries. Why not the other countries then? Right? So this is how it is. Okay. Now, so let's quickly do this. You don't need this now. You don't need this. We can simply divide, but I'll keep this for you. Okay. So, first of all, before I forget this, because you will also go and revise this maybe after a few weeks, few months, you should know. So we're just going to write below vision is learn after learning the RANKX and RANKX lectures. Okay, so you can first go and see those lectures to come back here. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'll put this question separately here. Question is how to find out how to calculate country-wise shift on top 3 items shift. That's the question. Evaluate. So, okay. So just a note for you. This will help you anytime when you come. So when you're practicing, basically it means that you should not touch this part. First you move to the next one. Okay. Note. Yeah. So now we'll just go in the new measure, and I'll simply write here the contribution quiz. I'm going to write a quiz. Okay. Quiz calculate. Just X. Yeah. Divide the numerator, which is item shift. This is the one you remember the X, so I can put that here. And this goes to question number 5 actually. Correct? Question number 5. Yeah. Which is sometimes. Yeah. So quiz and so contribution. Oh, A. Ship. Okay. Q7. This is 6, so I'll put just Q7. Okay. Yeah. Q7. Oh, let's put center. And this is your basically quiz. I have not used the quiz word anywhere. So this way, I mean, yeah. So let's put this here, everyone. And let's see that. Yeah, it's coming. And let's change this to percentage. Fine. So this is how it is. This is how it is. So wherever we have a 50%, 40%, it's good, isn't it? I mean, I think they are those countries which are actually the top contributors. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. So India itself is a part of the top 3. So that's why you see the ranking, the weightage is 42%. Yeah. And yeah, use this. Remember this option? Yeah. This is that option over there, the map. We discussed this in the table that if you can't resize this by default, it takes the title to the next line. There is option over there which you can off as well. So I said never do that. This is helpful. Yeah. So as far as these 3 are concerned, they are I think that defined like 49, 21, 27, and then you can certainly go and check the other countries where you have just 11%. So my point is that you can do a lot of things in the DAX, and those things. This is how we can do it. And in fact, as you know, so we can create the visual for this as well, isn't it? So if I just show you, if let's say we have space this, I'm just going to use this. Okay. Now, this is the quiz 1. So let's put this in the y-axis, and let's put the country-wise, if I have to see. Look at this now. So we can have the visual as well. Based on the top 3 contributors. Anytime you want, if you want to have age group, like for example, you can have the age group wise as well. Okay, age group wise also, this calculation can happen, obviously, because the context will be changed now. Okay, so that is how it is. Right, and now if if you see here, let's come back here now. We have done that. See this now. If I put this, if I use the same table here, see, rank total. You have the country, and in the country, I say this one, top end. I need the top end, right? I put the top end here, and not this one actually. 1 second. Question number 4. I'll cover that later actually. Basically, I wanted to show you that in this case, where we have the top 3 coming. 1 second. Let me remove this. Let me put this here. Yes. Yeah. So, see, this is the top 3 sales. We know that, right? And if I start adding them, are you matching up with the total here? The fundamental question, right? This is top 3 sales, right? Top 3. When I put this here, filter context applies here. I'm telling you that how the calculation is happening in the total. You must understand this. Like we saw that one issue over here, this one, right? See, when I drop this function here, the top end started working for France only, correct? So everything remains the same, except for the where clause. So this entirely picks up the data, summarize the data. Once you have the summarization, we have all these 8, 10 countries with you with the total. And then from there, it picked up the top 3 in the descending order, right? When you drag and drop this thing here, And if somebody asks you, so why I'm not getting the top 3 total, but instead we are getting the 4195, 1680, what is it? What will you say? Will you tell them that this is the France item ship, sorry? Because we are discussing here item ship. If I put the item ship here against each of the country, see, this one, this and this number will be same. This and this number will be same, right? So this basically comes from the France, this comes from the Germany and this India. But if I start adding these on, I don't see this total. Actually, the total should be this. This is my point. So what happened here? If somebody asks you this, you can say, okay, so the criteria actually is applied here. Filter context is applied here. But then what is happening here? How this number is coming? 14114. If you remember, if I simply go and pick the top 3 countries and I add them, what will happen? The total will be 14114. See this. We created here this. Also, I think this one. Remember, top 3 rows, top 3 countries. Where is it? See, right? This is the total you are seeing here. I told you that on the total level, grand total, it has nothing to do with these numbers. We always have this wrong impression that because we have been seeing the average of the sum, isn't it? So we always thought that this basically whatever you add here, that comes here. No, this is a separate thing. This query runs separately. On the overall, it runs. When it comes to the France, it picks up the top 3 from there. When it comes here, it picks up the, top 3 from there. When it comes to the India, it picks up the top 3 from India. But when it comes in the total, it's going to pick from the entire process. That is why this is never going to be the total of this. You must understand. Okay? Grand total also have their own separate queries in the background. Right? So if you want to keep it fine, if you don't want to, again, you can use the as one value thing and you can just off it. Because generally in the case of sum, we prefer it. This is fine, but here it can create a confusion. Are you with me on this? Right? Grand total query will be calculated separately, not from these values. It has nothing to do. And it's not for just for this particular case, for any case, it always gets calculated differently. So that's why in some of the cases, you will find the grand total is very different behavior from the upper rows. So please understand, this is how the calculation happens in the background. There's a one question which I was expecting here. Maybe you are not actively participating in this. There's still a very strong question which should come when you look at this visual. This is okay. I hope you got it. We can just use as one value. And you put the entire function in the true and then the false you can say, let's say not applicable or black, whatever. But there is still one thing which should pop up in your mind, which should trouble it.
Sir,
yes.
Why every country is showing the different numbers instead of the total of 3 countries?
Repeat that.
Why every country is showing the different numbers, like same item ship, instead of the total of 3 countries, which we were finding out.
Here, in this one.
Yes.
Yes. Guys, you have not noticed one thing. What is this item shape? This one? It means from the France, if I go and calculate the France, I don't know why didn't you, this question should immediately come in your mind that there's some problem here. Let me vary the toy shop data. Item shift is fine. We have no problem. Let's pick the country called France. Isn't it? Drag and drop the item shape. How many items we have shipped? 4,195. Yeah? Okay. And this is how it happens. Now my question is, this is not a sum of item shipped. This is a TOPN function. So how come this also same as this? You understand filter context will work, but filter context should work based on this tax, the one we have created, how we have the same numbers here.
Exactly.
Everyone, this is your formula. It's also giving the same thing. Now, if you notice, if you just take a deep breath and believe in yourself, your fundamentals, what exactly is happening here? First of all, here it's picking the top 3 items. It is summarizing the data, right? But it is summarizing the data based on what? Based on this country, the France. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, let's first of all, how to, because we have to first, okay, so let's go and take this first of all, summarize this, up till this level, I think. Yeah, let's just copy this. Okay, let me go here. Let's see that how this is happening. New table, and this is our test 1 equals to this. Fine. Yes, fine. Okay, this is the data which is coming, right? We have the countries and their total item shape. And I'm just going to sort this, let's in the descending order. Okay, 6011. Let's go to this. Here also, let me just sort this. 6011, 4195, right? This is the data you're getting. This is the data you're getting, correct? Now, the next thing that we're doing, we're applying the top. Okay, so top N. How many countries we are pulling? 3 countries, right? We are pulling the 3 countries from the top. Okay, now you see, so what is basically happening, if you apply, if this table is being given to the table visual, when you have already got the countries over there, basically this still gives you the same answer. The summarize is returning the same value to you as you have here for the item shape, 6011. 6011 only, because till now you are actually summarizing the data only. But the moment this data goes over there, the clause happens that where the country is equals to India, right? So if it happens here, let's say for example India, like this, what is left? What is left? 6011. The out of, from this data, even if I want to pull out the top 3 rows, what will I get? I will get only 6011 now, because this is the summarization. This happens on the aggregation. If I would have applied this function without the summarization row by row, simply top N, then the things would have been different. Because in that case, what would have happened, if you go in this the table toy, this one, see here it's going to pick only the top 3 rows, let's say. So it goes to the this, I'm using now, I'm not summarizing, we are not creating the table from the table. This is the table that we are talking. So here, let's say we have India. So top N simply picks the 3 rows, no summarization. So it goes in the India and it picks this 788 and this. And this is where then the number will be, this one, sort the data here. Let's say we are saying descending. Now here the number would be different, 300 and 290, because we are not summarizing. Then so we can cross check, we can cross check. I think we have already created that, the top N somewhere. Let me just see, top N, and then we're done for the day, top N. So this is the DAX we have created. Let's see. So what it is doing, it's basically, yeah, so this is the one I think we can calculate total sum, item shape, yes. Filter top N, I think we don't even need the filter here. You can just write top N, because filter does not do anything special here. There's no criteria we are putting. So you can remove the filter also, just apply the top N. I'm just going to drag this here quickly to see. Yes. So what is the now the total item? It's 500. So if I go to the data and if I see here, this is my India, right? Item shift. So let me do this in the Excel. Let's talk about this India. So in India, the item shift that we have, you see, these are the ones, right? Now, you remember the top end can also create a problem because it can have multiple rows. So what I'm going to do, basically, I'm saying sort largest to smallest. Yeah. So if this is the number, this is what we want to add in the top end, 500. What was the answer? What's it, 500, I think? Yes. See, here is also one new thing. Though you have seen this, but you may have forgotten. See, this is the all top end. I was quick to notice that, right? Because you see, all the numbers are same. So if it is going to pick 25, and if it is going to pick these two first, and then the third. So the challenge will come and it's going to pick the third one, and it sees that, oh, third one is also repeated. So it has to naturally cover all. It has to cover naturally all, right? And that's why when you go there, you see the number like this. If these are, let's say, for example, if this is this number, and this is this number, and this is, let's say, not, okay, so this is, let's say, 99, and this is 88. Now, if I refresh over there, I have to change the link, so I'm not going to do that. Then you will see only the top. We have already discussed these things last time. Okay. And then you said, I know you said that, sir, what if I just, in case of the tie, I still need to pick the 3. I still need to show 25, 25, 25, total 75, which we will do next time. I found out this on the Google, and there was a very excellent, basically, the solution. There's no direct DAX for that. Okay. So what basically they said, I'll discuss them tomorrow, next time only. But my point is that, guys, are you understanding how the things are working? Because this is the most important thing. Using a DAX is not important. That you can use the internet anytime, copy paste, and kind of knowledge. I mean, so far you have got, copy paste will also work. But now you're able to answer what happened here, 500, and what happened here, right? Because see, this is a simple pulling the data from the rows. There's no totaling happening. But in this case, there's totaling happening first. Is this DAX is totaling the things. Now, when the DAX is going to total the things, you saw that summarization, this summarize, because the data will be summarized like this. Now, this is the data which we are putting actually in the filter context. Now, when we're going to put this in the filter context, what will be left? What will be, this is still, I'm talking about the item shift. Wherever we have created, I showed you that, right? So that is the reason that, as you also point this, observe this, let's, in this case, these are the same, right? These are the same, but there is a reason for that. And this question should come in your mind. That's how we are calculating the top 3 items. Understand, when I drop the top 3 formula here, it should be based on India, but then still it's the top 3 only the numbers should be picked up, isn't it? But we forgot one thing, that before that, the top 3 is what? Basically, the aggregation is happening. So it's actually adding the entire India rows first, and then that data is being supplied over here. But here, it's not like this. Here, it's simply picking the rows. Here, we have not applied the summarize. So it's only going to pick the top 3 rows. 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. But here, if you have total 500 rows in front of India or India country, it's basically going to sum up that. Because you have said summarize. And then there will be only 1 row left, which is India. And that's why we see the same answer. Okay. So we have understood now that if you apply any drag and drop the DAX here, how the filter context can, it's going to do the calculation. And also, this is also, the total also can look different in these, some of these cases where the normal adding or average, you are not doing it. So you should know the reasons for that. Okay. So thank you then. Now I shall see you in next lecture. Next weekend, let's meet. Please go and now revise everything. And you can bring up the questions also, as I said, we will discuss. There will be any. Thank you.